Welcome to Mendezville Live, where it's something to talk about. Here is Rudy Mendez.
Test, mic check. What's going on, Mendezville Live? Hopefully you guys can hear me out there. I had some technical difficulties yesterday in my own show when I went solo, and then I had some technical difficulties with my guest, but it's all good. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can't or if you can. Today's show, we're gonna catch up. We're gonna continue with what we had yesterday with my man Juan Muniz, good friend of mine. Some good conversations, but just want to shout out to World Finance. You know, give them a shout out. That let you guys know that when life throws unexpected expenses your way, World Finance is here to help. Whether it's medical bills, car repairs, or child care expenses, a personal installment or title loan can help you take control and get back to the good things in life. Even if you have a low credit score or no credit score, they will help you get the money you need. Get started by applying today at their Mission location at 1600 North Conway Suite A, Mission, Texas. They can take applications by phone at 956-580-4533, or you can visit their website at loansbyworld.com. They are accepting applications with matriculas, passport, or ITIN. You do not need to have a social to apply. All loans are subject to their usual credit underwriting policies. I'm going to have Manny here. I need to get him on here. I talked to him about Dr. B. Great guy. He will help you out. Day 2 in voting. Hopefully some of you went and voted. I know I still haven't voted. I put it on my Facebook. Where do I get all the information? I want to go and thank you, Jay Palacios, for replying. I actually clicked on the link and it was pretty cool. I put my name, birthday, and there, you know, it comes out and it tells me everything that's going to be on my ballot. So when I do go to the poll, I know I'm prepared on who I'm going to vote for and what things I need to do. I wish all the candidates luck that were out there today. You know, there's Sherryland Mission, La Jolla, some people posting on Facebook. It was pretty cool. But either way, let's continue our conversation yesterday. Let's bring in my man, Juan Muniz. Juan Muniz, you got that iPad charged today, big dog?
Yes, sir.
Technical difficulties, it happens, bro. Don't even worry about it. But hey, so yesterday, you know, it's funny because, you know, we had the technical difficulties. You went off, and I was about to ask you, you know, you're all about, by second grade, all English. At home, what do you speak with your kids, with Gael and Los Cuates and the third one?
Both, but they go to school. It's called. They go to school right now. They've been there for 2 years, and it's Albatros, and it's all Spanish school. All
Nice.
All Spanish, and
¿Y en la casa?
I'm trying for them 90% English because that's what I'm trying to. But the thing that I'm being very surprised is at school, their vocabulary it's strong. I mean, they words that they're 4 years right now. My twins, and they, that's what I want. I want their strong vocabulary, even if it's in Spanish or in English, but I know the transition is going to be smooth.
Right. I'll tell you what, you know, we're friends and, you know, we're both dads. I'm a big, I go into nerd alert and me voy en un viaje when it comes to activating parts of the brain. So my first research when I had mine was, okay, I never owned a walker. We never owned a walker in my house. It was more hand-eye coordination. It actually helps the brain think better to where I got to learn how to crawl and I got to learn how to crawl efficiently, effectively. Then, of course, they start, you know, they're walking or whatever it is, right? And then when it comes to English and Spanish at that age, it forces the brain to work more efficiently and a little bit faster as it's learning to translate stuff. Yeah. Like, oh, black, negro, y a la madre, you know, the brain has to work a little bit differently than a regular person that just learns one language. So that's pretty neat at that age. Another one that I want to hit you up is Levi and Sophia. They just started piano classes. And I really don't care if they ever play piano again in their lives after like a year that I take them, but it activates certain parts of the brain to where, okay, that part's going to open. Like, you know, it's like saying you're going to learn how to make a right-handed layup and you're going to learn how to make a left-handed. Yeah, for sure. So highly recommend, you know, as they get older, mételos en piano. And I've talked to most of my, at Chavez Middle School and the people I know, piano's like the best instrument to start off with as the basic, the notes and all that stuff, according to what they tell me in the research. So, you know, so we're on the same page of Spanish and English. And the biggest thing for me, Juan, was, and how you talked about you struggled and when you got to college, my biggest thing is, of all the athletes we have in the area, we have a lot of good athletes, but they struggle. And it's hard because they're in the bilingual program. You taught elementary for a few years in La Jolla, didn't you?
Yeah, I taught at kinder.
How was that?
And I was in Zapata. So I'm talking.
My daughter goes there right now.
So we're in the middle of the colonias. It's La Joma,
8 Mile line, más o menos.
Right in the middle of colonias, and there's kids that, low income, parents, like
first generation.
Yeah. But one of the things that it really kind of hit me like back then was there was several kids that they were super smart and it was a bilingual, but by let's say by April they already had passed all their tests for to translate for the English.
Oh, so you're saying they're talking about they're bilingual and now they passed the test and now they're ready to go in all English class.
They had passed already test A, test B, and test C. So you know that kid it's ready. He can be in the all English class.
I got you.
So when we were trying to when we had meetings after school and everything, I would bring it up. Hey, like Panchito Martinez, he's ready. Can we put him in the all English class? He's ready. He's ready. He's ready.
Right.
The answer was no. Once back then, and I don't know right now, but I know for sure. This was a big thing in 2005, 2006. Back then, if your kid is bilingual, he had to be there till I think first or second grade, no matter what.
Even though teacher recommendation and the test was like, hey, yeah, sácalo.
He could be a GT student. No, once you're in the bilingual, you have to stay there till second grade, I believe so. Not unless. But the parents that they were not too involved on this, not unless the parent would come and would, hey, I want my kid this. But in Zapata, honestly, there's not too many parents that they're going to go and they're going to fight with their kids.
So let me tell you this, because this is going on YouTube and it's going to get cut up and people can share it. So if a parent, for example, let's say Juan Muniz, and your mom and dad, at that time when you're in kindergarten and you're speaking very good English, your parents can go and tell them, hey, you know what? Ya fue mucho bilingual, lo quiero en inglés y ya.
If their parents go and they, like they put pressure, this, that, yes.
Porque at the end of the day, they got to do what the parent wants, right?
Exactly. But the thing is that, going back in Zapata, parents were not too involved,
Okay.
So that's where, hey, Panchito Martinez is ready. Can we move it? No. And I don't know if it's because of the money.
Are you talking about how the bilingual per person, they get a certain money per federal funding? Because Tino Guerrero touched based on that.
So, and it would make a big difference because, let's say, like, we would get a kid during the mid-year, we would get a kid from Sharyland, from Mission. We would get a kid from those schools. Man, it was a big difference. Yeah. Big difference. So, at the end of the day, I don't know if, I think we were hurting, let's say, Panchito, hey, if he's ready, throw him out there.
Ya, muévelo ya. Ya está listo. Ya.
But well, that was back then. I'm thinking it's still the same way, but I've been out for 14 years, so
yeah. I don't know. I personally can't comment on that because I'm at the junior high level. I will say from what I've seen in some of the guys that, like the Mozo that I told you about, and Jerry Reyes, and all these soccer players that are really good, pero batalla, they struggle with the ACT scores, and they struggle with the grades. They could be tier 1D, Division 2, Division 1 soccer players.
Yeah, it is tough, but
we'll share it. Hopefully, I'll share it around and people share it, and parents out there in La Joma and 8, 7, 8, 9 first generation parents can watch it, or their kids can translate it for them, and they can go from there. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I don't work at my daughter goes to Zapata. Sofia, she goes to Zapata because she is in the bilingual program.
Okay.
But because to me or to us, like, okay, Sofia started all Spanish, so did Levi, right? And then Sofia goes to bilingual, but the problem is that at home, it's all English, TV's all English, even though sometimes put in Spanish. So they could kind of like in the summer. So I'm kind of helping them like, hey, you got to learn, you got to keep with the Spanish. Que no se te olvide. And, I talk to them here and there, pero pues no, not in phrases and sentences.
The thing at the end of the day, I think like the main thing for kids to succeed, yes, is teachers, but at the end of the day, it's the parents.
Oh, no doubt.
It's parents, because I mean,
and we're gonna touch that.
I remember when we used to have a parent, the parent night and everything, and then kids were Mr. Muniz. A mí no me hace caso. Pues I mean, si a ti no te hace caso that he's your son, pues I mean, what can I do? You know. So so at the end of the day, the kids who were more successful, like the higher kids, the more up there, is because the parents were more involved. That's right. The thing. And the thing, parents think that schools are, if the kid is not succeeding, it's the teacher. And I don't think that's right. I mean, if the kid is not succeeding, hey, you have to put more hours at the house too.
Right, as a parent, right? No doubt about that. You know, parenting is a big factor in a kid's success, no doubt about it. So then let's transition over into your success. You know, we brought you on the show to talk about basketball so kids can learn. As a matter of fact, I want to bring in Sergio Castillo. He just signed with the Jets. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So your success is it's because he was a soccer player when he was growing up. As a matter of fact, now that I bring up soccer, before 7th grade, what type of sports did you play before that?
Well, before 7th grade, my sport, or my first that I was trying to play with sport, it was baseball.
El pelotero.
4th grade, 5th grade, that was going to be my sport, según yo.
Right.
But in order to play in those sports in 4th or 5th or 6th grade, your parents would have to take you to the pony league or those leagues.
Right.
And it was not going to happen with me. So, right. I mean, I didn't have the transportation. I mean, it was too far. So, back in the day, I grew up with Clemente Mendoza.
Oh, big man, the Wolfman, Clemente Mendoza. Hell yeah.
And there in that colonia, Clemente Mendoza, Braulio Mendoza.
Yeah.
In that colonia, running for constable.
Miguel Flores.
In that same colonia, we had a lot that it was empty, so that was our play, our park.
Yeah.
So basically, we started playing soccer, and I think one of the big things that really helped me on my footwork as a post, it was soccer. That was the main thing. Right. Soccer, it was a big thing, not because I wasn't going to be a good soccer player, but it helped me play with my footwork.
Right.
In the post. So when I started playing in 7th grade, I mean, I was terrible.
You're talking about what sport? Basketball right now?
Basketball in 7th grade.
Okay, talk to us about. So, did you play football in 7th grade?
7th grade, I played football. You were the left tackle, and I was the right tackle.
That's right. A ver, Juan, así un poquito la laptop. Ándale, there you go.
Yeah,
so that's right.
You were the right. You were the right
guard. I played guard.
You were the right guard, and I was the right tackle. And I don't even remember this. I could never. Me aprendí a los plays. And you would help me. You would help me. Hey, Rudy, pool 28, I don't know what. Where we going, Rudy? You would tell me, Juan, you're going this way, you're going that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I played football 7th grade, 8th grade. And then my freshman year, I didn't play football. I kind of regret it. I mean, I think I could have, I mean, pero bueno, I mean, I don't know. I kind of regretted not playing football, but at the same time, I mean, I was playing basketball the whole year, and that's when I was getting better. But I played basketball the whole year.
Time out. Before we get to that, because there's a timetable, and kids need to understand this. Parents need to understand this, especially ones that don't have their kids in travel ball, and we're going to talk about that here in a bit. Yesterday you started off, you know. So for example, right now we can talk about why you didn't play football, and I can tell you like this one. I can tell you from being in junior high right now and being around athletes in the junior high level, right, and being around kids, you would have been a hell of a football player. I can tell you that because I played basketball with you. You would have been a hell of a football player. Bottom line, and the way you feel about your football career, I think I would have been a better soccer player than I was a basketball player. No, I mean, I wasn't that good of a basketball player anyway. So, I mean, I'm sure it probably would have been a better soccer player. But like you said, but it's one of those things where Michael Jordan's on TV, Hakeem Olajuwon's on TV. You know, talk to us about how you've never played basketball. You end up playing football. Ricky Garcia, talk to us about that. You started on that yesterday.
Ricky just told me, Coach Ricky Garcia, hey, Juan, you know how he is. Just play. I tried it in 7th grade. I was terrible. I would never forget this. We were playing Alamo, some school in Alamo. Muniz go in my first time that I was going to go in to play a game from the bench, I went straight to the free throw line.
Hey, it still happens. I
went straight. Muniz go in. Okay, I go straight. Boom, technical. Pues, ¿qué pasó?
Yeah, you didn't know the game.
I didn't know the game. So se acabó ese año.
So who was your coach in 7th grade 18? You were on the 18.
Garcia.
Okay.
Coach Garcia. So cuando se acabó ese año, that year, I played basketball like every single day, every day. And and not only that, I grew like 4 inches.
Well, that was nice.
From 7 to 8. I kind of crecí.
Yeah.
But in 7th grade, it was a big difference. Big difference.
Oh, in 7th grade, did Victor play with you?
Victor Munoz, Braulio.
So in 7th grade, we're at La Jolla Middle School. Did Victor because Victor was pretty good in 7th grade.
Victor was in another level.
So that's where I'm headed as a coach.
But Victor was playing. I think.
Oh yeah, he had played Little League. He had played Little League.
And he was thick, in a good way. He was thick. I think he was dunking even in 8th grade, without dribbling, but he was dunking.
Right, he knew the game.
Yeah, he knew the game.
The reason I'm asking that is because, do you think you being kind of like the same height, or you were a little, I don't know if he was taller than you in 7th grade or not, but
the same, but he was more athletic.
Right. Do you think him being so good at the sport kind of sparked something inside, like, well, I want to be that good, and I'm going to be that good? Was there that kind of level of competition?
I kind of took it as a challenge.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I kind of took it as a challenge because I remember in 8th grade, during lunch, we were playing pickups there in the pavilion.
Sí, ahí en la Memorial. What used to be Memorial Elementary became Memorial Middle School.
And we were going at it. But in 8th grade, one of the coaches that really helped me, like kind of the inside moves and everything, and Coach Fuentes.
Yeah. Armando Fuentes, he's still around.
Coach Armando Fuentes, he was one of the coaches that, he was not my coach. My coach was JJ Garza,
yeah.
But Coach Fuentes was the one who kind of like, hey, let's go inside, and he was aggressive. He would throw me, elbows, and so he was the one who kind of taught me, hey, you got to be aggressive and how to do this, how to move, fake, things like that. But Victor kind of, he played a big role because Victor, I learned all that stuff from Victor.
So then in 7th grade, the season's over. Spring comes along. Summer comes along. So what is your routine, or what's your daily grind in your mind? What are you doing as a kid?
Just playing every day.
At home? Ahí en la colonia, okay?
At home, and in La Colonia, yeah. And sometimes we would go play at the Kika de la Garza.
Yeah, I remember going to those.
We would
good.
Go play. And then, after 8th grade, freshman, and that's when that same group as a freshman group, that was our team since we graduated.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the Coach Garza came and he took me for a week to practice with the varsity.
I remember that.
But I was like, I was like, I'm not gonna play. I was competing there in practice. I remember Montalvo, the older brother, Mando was the point guard. Yeah, Mando. But I was like, Coach, I'd rather go play my freshman. I want to play. And I went back as a freshman, but I was for a week he took me to practice with the varsity team, and it was a big difference. More physical. I was a freshman. I was probably 14 playing against 17, 18.
Not only that, you're a summer baby, so you were 14.
Yeah.
You weren't even 15 yet.
No, I was 14. So I went back. My coach was Domingo Villarreal at my freshman year.
Yeah, Domingo Villarreal, yeah.
So I remember when the one of the football coaches told me, Juan, you're going to play football. And I remember I was like, no, I don't want to play football. And he was like, I'm going to go change your schedule. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm not. And no lo hice. And I just me quedé con basketball. And this is what I'm thinking. This is, I mean, I know you guys being you and Montalvo, Dan, and everything. What's best if you play 2 sports, 3 sports? My philosophy or the way I'm thinking is, yes, play 2, 3 sports, yes. But what's your goal? If you want to go to the next level, and if you have not mastered basketball or football, what are you doing playing 2 or 3 sports if you have not even mastered the main sport that you want to play in the next level? That's the way I'm thinking. So let's say, whatever, Panchito is playing basketball and he's still there struggling. Why are you going to go play football and you want to play in the college level, but you have not even mastered basketball?
Now, okay, so I get where you're coming from. And you're talking about mastering sports, and then we talk about multi-sport athletes. You know, Adam played multi-sports, and then Eric only played basketball in high school. So there's 2 things I want to touch base before we continue. Let me go back to your freshman year and it's important because we've had this discussion. Valde Benoit was on the show when Adam was on the show. Kenny's been on there, and we know we go back and forth on who the better athlete is, what sports produce a better athlete. Should kids play multi-sports? You just say, no, you got to master a sport. Freshman year, I'm chubby, you know, I'm in basketball class with you guys, but I showed up to the two-a-days. Did you show up to two-a-days? Okay, right? So, you know, I'm going to play football. I'm going to show up to the two-a-days. In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to go to two-a-days. And nobody had ever told me this. It just in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to be in basketball class. And after school, I'm going to go to football. No big deal. Once school starts. I did that the first day. And then they told me the same thing. You're going to start showing up to football athletics. The basketball, you'll wait till whenever. I did that, you know. I mean, you know, I'm a chubby little lineman, B team, you know, right guard todavía. And I still remember I'm out in the heat. Basketball is my passion compared to football, but I still liked it. And I see you guys running. Allá por atrás for the baseball fielders, and you're running, and I'm watching you doing athletics, running. And of course, in my mind, I'm a chubby kid. I want to lose weight. And I'm watching you guys. I'm like, they're going to lose weight. They're running. I know that's the way you lose weight. And it was like, you know, after second scrimmage, I turned to myself and I'm like, I quit. I'm going to basketball. This is not for me, you know. But that was me. Now we go into the multi-sport athletes, the way you talked about in Adan and, you know, all these things is when you talk about mastering a sport, basketball is a highly skilled sport. So I agree with you. If you are going to decide to be a basketball player at the next level, you got to master the skill.
Exactly.
Right. So, for example, in football, I don't think you need to be as strict in not playing other sports unless you're the quarterback, because the quarterback is very high skilled.
Now, if you're playing, let's say one of the things that I regret that I should have, I mean, me hubiera ayudado. I should have done track.
Oh, for sure. Me too. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know qué tanto me iba a ayudar. I mean, but anyways, but now, I should have. I mean, at least. Not because I wanted to go to the next level in track, but I'm sure the speed, the quickness.
Hops. Yeah, it would have helped you. Yeah.
Now, I was not, when I went to, I'm just going to jump. When I went to McMurray, I was not the most athletic. I was not the strongest. I just had the heart, you know what I mean? Because I was playing, in McMurray, I was playing the 4.
Right.
And I was only 6'4", 6'5", when I was competing against 6'8", 6'7", bigger, stronger.
So you basically realized what it felt like to play against you in high school. The other guys that were you're like, oh, so this is the way they felt against me.
Sure, but I just had to compete, get stronger. That was the mentality that I'm going to take it as a challenge, and it worked. It worked.
Right. So before we go, you know, when we talk about it's important that you mention how you look back and you should have done track. I look back and I'm like, man, I should have done track. Football, not so much, but track and see now that I know all this research and I've done all this, now that I'm coaching, is the plyometric work, the speed development, fast twitch fibers, all these things, they would have helped us. And it's important we mention it right now because the kids now that might watch this show, they'll learn from us where, you know, they're even saying it, they wish they could have done it, right? So hopefully when they watch it, they're like, you know, they do it.
Yes, right now I've seen some kids from Lobos, from Coyotes, that they're playing basketball, and I escuchado que I want to play the next level. but then they go play football or baseball or whatever. But I'm like, you have not even mastered this sport, so why not play the whole year and just stick with whatever sport that's your sport.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the way I'm thinking. So I'm not saying it's right, but I mean, that's just my mentality.
I think at that point it's difference of opinions.
Yeah.
Because some people are going to be yes and no. It's like Benny Gomez. As a matter of fact, you know what I was talking to about Benny Gomez? I was talking about John. I need to get Benny Gomez on the show. I was talking to John Muniz on Tuesday. Benny Gomez played. He was in basketball class his whole high school career.
Yeah.
And yet, and he was a professional baseball player. But he played baseball since Little League. So he had time to master that skill. To me, when it comes to skills, okay, now you're talking. Now that's a wholly different topic. Being athletic, basketball helps you be athletic. But shooting, dribbling, crossovers, pitching. I mean, it's one of those kids.
And one thing that I was gonna touch this subject is about parents. Just because, okay, let's say parents, just because you take your kid to train with so and so private trainer, that doesn't mean that your kid has to be starting. That doesn't mean that he's supposed to be the go-to guy. And I've seen a lot of that in right now. Well, even in Cali, in La Jolla, here in the Valley, just because you're taking your kid to a private trainer doesn't mean that he's going to be a good athlete.
Right.
And I mean, then if the kid doesn't play, they go to their compadre or comadre, to the school board, and they want to get the coach fired. And I'm like, if your kid is not good, he's not good. Simple as that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many trainings you send him to.
Nah. But I mean, I think some kids are spoiled, but it is what it is.
I will say this. When you talk about that and kids wanting, or parents more than anything, like, hey, my son or daughter deserves to start or play because I've put all this time and effort, is you have to understand that, for example, at JD Salinas, at Trevino Middle School, those kids, they might not be playing baseball or they might not be going to, for example, let's take summer track. Not a lot of parents have time to take their kids to summer track. I can because I'm a teacher, so I have the summers off. But it's hard to take the kids to practice and then to the track meets, right? So when your son or daughter is like, oh, my son or daughter's top 5 in the area, but not all the kids were running track. Exactly. It's only the kids that the parents had time and they wanted to take their kids. How many kids are stuck at home playing soccer in La Colonia, playing basketball, playing on their own that are probably faster, stronger, bigger, quicker, but yet the only difference between there is that the parents don't have the means or parents don't make time to take them, but their athletic ability genetically is more. Sometimes, not all the time.
And I think now I was in one of those scenarios. Like, I mean, back then there was no private training, there was no Cavazos thing, we were just playing every day, and I think that's how we just got better. I mean, just playing every day. And I think nowadays that's what kids, I think they don't understand, that in order to get better, you need to play every single day so you can have that instinct that whatever happens, I mean, you have to play every day in order to succeed.
Right, no doubt about that. I'll tell you what, though, when we talk about the group, our group, that freshman group. So in 3rd grade, you were at Kika, I was at Kika, but then in 4th, 5th, and 6th, I get transferred over to Memorial Elementary, right? And there, I think from our group, our varsity group, senior group, I mean, I might be mistaken, but I think Abel was the only guy on that team as seniors that played Little League basketball, bro. Because there was Jamar Taylor. I mean, he was a beast, but then he went to Mission. Then you had some guys that were there at Memorial Elementary.
Jamar Taylor. There was this guy Abel Science. Victor was with them.
Victor Munoz.
Victor Munoz was with that little group.
Right.
and there was like two other kids from Nelly.
It was Roman. I remember Roman, Israel.
Yes.
They were there with me in 5th grade, and I remember them talking about it. Coach Perales talking about it. I was like, chinga. I remember I was like, man, I wish I could do that, but I didn't know.
But you see, all those kids were playing since they were like, I'm gonna say whatever, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, whatever, and then I'm saying like I took it as a challenge because I mean those kids were playing since I don't know 10 years. I'm playing I just started playing when I was 14 or 13, and at the end of the day, it's just whoever plays every day and starts loving the sport, that's whoever the one who's going to succeed.
Right, but see, I go back to the point you're making. They had played a long time, and yet the senior group, our senior group, was a lot of kids were from the Miles.
From the Miles,
yeah. Abel was the only guy that wasn't from the Miles.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that played on the team, that guy that got, you know, Braulio was a starting point guy. I'm his backup. You know, Eric Montalvo was from La Joma, but see, Eric had Mando and Ivan. It's interesting, though. Another point I wanted to make was when I had Adan Montalvo here, he mentioned he didn't start playing organized basketball until 7th grade, like you and I, right? And then somebody who watched the show made a good point. It's like, wait a minute, Adan cannot take that all complete because he's got to realize he had Armando, Ivan, Eric, and they're like, he told me, I'm sure Adan played pickup ball and he knew the concept before he got to 7th grade.
Yeah, I remember Adan was like in, I think, like 4th grade or 5th grade. And he was playing against, I mean, at one time, pickup game. And Adan was there playing. I mean, he was in 4th grade or 5th grade. And he was already a good basketball player.
So he knew how to play the game. He knew how to play basketball.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, the brothers,
Mando,
Eric, Mando. I think Mando was the one who started everything. Mando.
Yeah, he was the first guy, right? Yeah, because he was the oldest, right? So it goes back to what you're saying. It's just because you're in Little League, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be starting or you're going to be good. It helps.
It helps, but that's what parents who are not educated in that way, they think because my kid has been playing more than that kid from the colonia, he should be starting. Right. Or he should be playing, or he or she should be playing more, but it doesn't work like that. I mean, maybe the kid from the colonia, he's better. I mean, more athletic, or maybe he plays every day at over there in las colonias, and who knows?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's because Elena's here. She's doing something on the phone. Thank you, babe. Yeah, that's it. I just needed her to turn off the phone because I got But you're right, though. I'll give you a perfect example of what you're talking about. Is there's this kid that his name's Kenneth Gonzalez. He was at JD Salinas. He didn't start playing basketball till 7th grade. But the kid, granted, he might not have no, pues es que sí, he was kind of like because I could say I started playing basketball one-on-one or just messing around there at the house with my uncle when I was like in 4th, 5th grade, right? This guy didn't start playing till 7th grade, but he's just so fast. Like, I think he's like a 4.40 speed, like super quick. So when you add that kind of quickness and a little bit of skill, it makes a big difference on the court. To where a parent, where a parent that has had their son or daughter for 3-4 years in elementary, but if you don't have that, if you're not that quick, it's kind of hard to compete.
And another thing that me and Tuberty, kids nowadays, they have to be more coachable. Nowadays, kids, they think they know everything, when in reality, they're just learning. But I think one of the Benoit brothers, the Montalvo brothers, all these kids. I mean, well, yeah, and they're not kids. I mean, this.
Yeah, but our generation. You're talking about our generation.
Yeah, I think we were coachable. You know, we were coachable. I mean, hey, whatever you say, yes sir, no sir. Hey, that's fine. Let's do it. You know, let's do it. Nowadays, it's more. I mean, attitudes. I mean, why this, and you start questioning the coach, and I mean, I see a lot of that. And not only in La Jolla. I mean, I'm saying when I go to McAllen games just to go check it out, I see a lot of that. And their kids are not bad attitude.
Right.
And that's the. I mean, and coming from the college level, that's the last thing the coaches want to see. If you're not coachable, I mean, they don't want. Hey, you're out. you're out basically. Because I mean, when I was in McMurray, I mean, I've seen all these athletes. I mean, they were doing all these 360s, whatever, all these things that I have never seen before. But their attitude was terrible, and they didn't make the team.
They didn't make the team.
No. So
you got to be coachable.
And another thing, I mean, one other thing, I mean, I hope my kids. I've always told this to the Montalvos. It's kids nowadays. They're not mentally tough. They're not. I remember Coach Garcia would scream at here, aquí la cara, hey, Muniz this, Muniz that, and
todavía no se le quita, no te creas.
Pues sí,
I'm joking, Coach. If you're watching the show, I'm joking.
Hey, but you know what? Now, if your compadre, if my parent conoce el school board, I'm gonna go and talk, and I'm gonna try to get you fired, or like you're just hurting your kid.
Right. We hear stories like that, not necessarily in La Jolla, but around the valley. You hear stories like that.
Yeah.
Que el papá se pone, the parents go talk to the school board, and it's like, man, come on, man,
Yeah, just let him be. I mean, you're just hurting your kid because you're no estás dejando that to grow,
Right.
I mean, he gets to the college level, he's still a baby, basically.
Or even forget the college level, just the real world.
Exactly.
Just the real world. You got to learn to take those hits mentally.
Yep. So and that's I see a lot of that right now. Yeah, not only just in general here in the valley, their kids are not mentally tough. And if you're not mentally tough, like you're saying, not only in the college level, it's just in the real life.
Right. It's interesting. I saw my cousin. He posted something. Tony Gonzalez posted something. I was golfing the other day, and how you mentioned about why don't you master something. And just to give Tony a feedback on is, Papito was a basketball player and he was a golfer, right? And I run into a person that's an avid golfer, and he's in the circuit, and he talks about some Jimmy Lee kid or from Sherryland. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but that guy started playing golf since he was like 4 years old. Great golfer, right? And then I said, well, what about Papito, my cousin? He goes, oh, no, this Lee kid was way better. And then the person I'm talking to goes, the mistake they made was the genetics are short. He's not going to be an NCAA basketball player. They wasted time, or my cousin Tony wasted time. Not me, Tony. I'm not saying it was me, but I'm just using you as an example where your kid's not going to be that tall. You should not have wasted time.
Tony's going to come back right now.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's an example. Is at your junior, your senior year, hey, golf is going to be it. So who knows if Papito could probably be in the PGA already if he would have just stopped wasting time his junior and his senior year with basketball. Great basketball player, though. Great. Not taking anything away from him. But like you're saying, why not just master the other one?
Exactly, because you can be a great basketball player, you can be a great golf, or you can be a great baseball player. But in order to go to the next level, you cannot be great. You need to be
one in a million.
Yes, because really, once you go to even JUCO Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, it's otro rollo.
Right.
More physical. I mean, it's something else. So that's what I'm saying. Why are you playing two sports when you have not even mastered one sport? Pero bueno, I mean,
and I think, for example, in Papito's case, I mean, like I said, he was a good basketball player. Like you say, well, he was good, but
I remember he was a good basketball player. But I mean,
but golf was like guaranteed for him, and they should have just focused that a little bit more. And it's not just Papito, just different athletes around the area. Just an example. I know Tony, my cousin's watching, and he'll probably let me have it later on today or whatever it is. But it's like me. It's like me and my kid. I'm 5'8". I loved playing basketball. Like I said earlier, I wasn't that great. I know I wasn't that great. I should have played soccer. That's why I have these damn posters up here, because when my son comes in here, I'm kind of trying to guide him and like, hey, I need to play soccer. So now, if he doesn't,
you're trying to guide your kid. I mean, you're trying to push him soccer.
Right. Because if he is going to be good, that's his best chance.
You're being more realistic,
Right. I mean, come on. I know I was. I like I said, I wasn't that good, but I think I was pretty quick. And if you add quickness to skill and soccer and mindset, he might be good. Now, if he doesn't play it, that's fine with me. I'm also going to try golf with him because está chaparrito que juegue golf. I like golf. I've taken him with me to the course and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where, like you say, I'm going to be a realistic parent. If my son ends up not being that great, well, he's not that great.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to force a coach or anybody to play him. It's like, hey, you know, I sit back and relax. Just have him to have a good time.
And once going forward, when I came back from McMurray, and I'm sure you heard, we were playing in the Mexican League.
Yes. Okay, time out. Okay, time out. Before we get there, and I usually go on a timeline. You're my first guest that we're all over the place, which is pretty cool. It's a nice conversation. Let's go back to your high school days.
Okay.
Let's go back to your let's rewind. Let's set up the league and all that so people can really see the grind that you went through. Your freshman year, you're pretty tall. You worked out your 7th to 8th grade year. You worked out a lot on your skills. You're watching Hakeem Olajuwon on TV.
That was my favorite player, Hakeem.
Right. So you're doing a lot of work on your own.
Uh-huh.
In 8th grade, from 7th to 9th grade, Ponle, 2 years.
2 years.
It's all, you know, you're doing, you know, you told me that yo me para Reynosa y me la pasaba jugando basketball. ¿Cierto o no cierto?
And even when I would go back to Reynosa, I had a neighbor, and he was like my age in Reynosa, and we would play all in the morning, afternoon, at night, todo el día.
Basketball.
Basketball. Just, yo y él. Era un vecino, just playing. We were just playing.
But was it like one-on-one or just practicing moves or just pretend?
Both. One-on-one, you know, just shooting and I mean, that's why when people, hey, how come you shoot like this? Well, I mean, that's my form, and that's how I grew shooting.
Right.
Nadie me dijo, hey, Juan. No, I mean, that was my form, and I mean, I know I have a weird form of shooting.
No, it's terrible, but it's terrible, and you shoot better than I do. Yeah. So it's pretty good.
So yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, it's like I talked to some coaches, coach from McAllen, Coach Yevra, Nikiro, Eric. Kids, in order to get better, it's repetition, and that's what you have to do. Play every day.
When you talk about your form, granted, whether some people might say it's good, it's bad, it became muscle memory to you, to where that's what your body knew, and that's how you made shots.
It is.
That's how you made shots. So you go to Reynosa, you work out for 2 years. Your freshman year, you get moved up for about a week. I know Abel got moved up for about a week.
Mm-hmm. Actually, we went together. We fuimos juntos.
So did you play? Did you go to a game at the varsity? You never dressed out?
No, it was just practice. Practice. I mean, they were big. I remember they were tan grandes. They were big. It was I don't know the names, but I mean they were. It was a pretty. They had a good team. But they were all kind of cagapalos, most of them.
Well, that's the 95 team.
The 95 team, yeah. But
I don't know who that was. I don't know.
No, I mean, they were big. I mean, yeah, but I think they were just all over the place.
Right. But that comes to coaching. Was Coach Garza the coach at that time?
Yeah, Coach Garza was there. Coach Garza. Actually, the assistant coach was
Tommy.
Tommy, yeah.
I will say this: the one criticism I have of Coach Garza is, as a player, when we'd run when he's like, okay, warm up 7 minutes, you have Benny Gomez over there, Isaac Gracia, Jose Salinas hiding under the table, some guys behind the bleachers. I'm like, man, and I'm just a kid. I'm like, what? And me, I'm thinking, what is wrong with these guys? Like, we're here to work. Like mentally, I'm like, hey, but of course they were really good compared, you know. So I guess they had that, like, hey, I'm a senior, I can do whatever I want. Benny Gomez from the Coyote, you know, he could shoot whenever he wanted. But I think that's the only knock I would have on Coach with that squad, where I think they liked a little bit of this Elvis. No, hombre, eran unos payasos.
Actually, my sophomore year. Well, that was my freshman.
Okay, so your sophomore year. Let's fast. Okay,
I was playing varsity. I was starting at the varsity my sophomore year. I got sophomore of the year, but that team was big también. Estaba JP, Benny, Elvis, Isaac.
Ricky Alviso, no?
Ricky Alviso. I mean, we had a good team. Talent-wise, we had a good team, but again, cada quien, like you're saying, cada quien por su lado. It was we were not too disciplined. Like, nah. So, but talent-wise and size-wise, we were. I mean, we had a good team.
Right.
We were just not organized.
Bunch of goofballs. You guys were a bunch of goofballs. Maybe not you yourself, but the whole team as a whole.
The whole team, and that was just a sophomore. But I mean, I remember that team was I mean, pretty big team.
Right. So by your sophomore year, you were already 6'5", 6'4"?
Yeah, by the time, I mean, 6'4", 6'5". I was just, probably like since my sophomore to my senior, I was just already the same.
Same?
Like, 6'4", 6, more or less. Skinny, I was like 180, 190.
Right. I weigh that right now. I weigh 190 right now. What a shame.
So, and then my junior year, let's go junior year. That's when we made it to the playoffs, and my senior year, but then we were pretty good. I mean,
okay. So let me ask you this. Let's touch base because right now Laredo seems to have an upper hand on us here in the Valley. What was the experience for you in your mind? You go to that Laredo playoff game. I remember I went on the bus. The
difference. Well, you're saying the difference between
that and let's take that game into consideration. What was it about that playoff game that we end up losing, even though we had a very good team?
They were just quick, fast. They were just in another level. I mean, quickness. That was the main thing. They were trapping left and right, and
also they ran a press on you the whole game.
The whole game trap. Como te digo, you get a trap from the left and the right, full court. We couldn't break the press, and we lost by 20. My junior.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah, we lost by 20. So, but that's the thing. Those kids were faster. I mean, they knew the game. Their instincts. Boom, boom. But I think it comes because they're playing. I mean, they play against San Antonio. More competition. They play. I hear that those schools they go. They be playing. They have elementaries and it's all basketball.
Oh, you're talking about now, currently? Yes, that's a true story. Yeah, I have friends that live in Laredo, and I see their Facebook post.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like I say, like their basketball IQ, it's more advanced. Simple as that.
Right. That was probably the biggest difference maker. So
because let me tell you this, because size wise, I mean, we're Laredo and the Valley, we're the same.
Right. Yeah.
We're the same. They might be more. I mean, I don't know. I mean, back then, I mean, we were the same. They were just more basketball IQ. They're more advanced.
Right. And I remember when it comes to Laredo. I remember in the preseason when I was on my senior year, I remember we were losing. We ran a full court press and we made a comeback. And I think I only played Laredo twice in the preseason. And then when we played them here in the Mission tournament or Laredo Alexander, and they rocked us, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I was like, what the hell just happened? You know, they just rocked us. Do you remember that?
I don't know if you remember that when we lost our junior year, going to our senior year, we played that tournament in Edinburgh.
Oh, the Great American Shootout, yeah.
Actually, and we won that tournament, and whoever would win the tournament had a free trip to Dallas.
Yeah, Denton, Texas, yeah.
Exactly. It was you, the Benoit brothers, Montalvo.
Luis, Braulio, Luis ya me los ahogaba en el swimming pool. ¿Te acuerdas de Luis? Luis ya me los ahogaba. Pobrecito Luis.
Only 10 players. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And we were playing against kids. We were playing against the All-Star from that. I mean, over there it was All-Star teams.
Yeah, I remember that. We're freaking out. I'll tell you what, though, as kids from the Valley, we were freaking. I was freaked out. I was like, man.
Even the driver. I don't know if you remember the driver. There was
Pudges. Like some Pudges, no?
And the other white guy. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name, but he played for the Dallas Cowboys.
They were kind of impressed because they didn't think we were gonna get second place.
Yeah, we were in the championship game.
Yeah.
They probably were like, we're just driving these cats, have them play their 2 games, and then let's drive back. Nada.
Yeah. So
that was a pretty good experience.
Yeah. I mean, that was our first time and probably last time that we ever traveled.
As a team at that level, yeah.
Yeah. And nowadays, I mean, good thing that there's a lot of traveling team and with the Vipers and there's more stuff going on.
Yeah, and there's more parents taking it serious. And it's funny because you mentioned that because when I had Adan on the show, I don't know if you caught all the 2.5 hours that we're here, he was talking about how the high school coaches want to be a little greedy in the sense of, I want we played together at the Edinburgh tournament. We won it. We went in, or the Edinburgh League, then the tournament, then we played in that tournament. And Adan is talking about more of, why not get the top 10 basketball players west of 281, and then the top 10, or maybe from PSJ this way, top 10 players, so they could be in a travel team, so they could get better exposure. And it's one of those where it's a good idea. How does it hurt you as a high school coach? I asked Eric, and we went off on, nos fuimos un viaje. But Adan presented a good point where imagine Juan Muniz, Eric Montalvo, Kevin Avendaño, Ricky Traeger, Andy, and I don't know what other guys were really good back in the day in our year, but imagine that kind of like the kid from ¿cómo se llama el de Mackay, el Moreno, ¿cómo se llama? Either way, the point is you get the top 10 players in that era, and now you have a stout team.
Yeah.
So Adan brought that up, but
and that happened only in the All-Star game. Like the East against West.
Yeah.
And basically that's how I got recruited, because when I played in the All-Star game my senior year.
So wait, time out. So from your junior year to senior year, you still didn't have any.
No. Sometimes no, because I think Coach got said, "Hey Juan, I think I got this letter. I don't know from what school, but I never thought I was gonna play." And then, "Hey Juan, have you taken your ACT?" I was like, "ACT? What are you talking? What's ACT? Con que se come or something,
This is your senior year? When did you find out about the ACT?
Well, like in December, more or less.
Of your senior year?
Yeah.
Man, you're late on that one.
And then I took my ACT, but I took my ACT just to, nomás por decir that I was not prepared. I was not.
Right.
Okay, let's go take it. And sopas, 14.
Yo llegué desvelado al primero. I had like 3 hours of sleep on the first one. I was like, oh man, I got to take this.
And then I took it again. I think I got a 15. I think I took it like 3 times. Just, I need to get I think I had to get a 18. I think that was the
right, the minimum, yeah.
The minimum. So, and that's what I said yesterday. I brought it up. And the reason that I got recruited to McMurray was because this coach from McMurray came to the All-Star game, and he was trying to recruit someone else from I don't know what school, and I was there.
I see.
And he saw me. I think the one who helped me también fue Tino. They asked Coach Tino about me, and I think Tino was assistant. I don't know what school he was, and he kind of like, "Hey, Tino Guerrero."
Dude, did you know he was the head coach for Nicky Rowe when we played against them?
He was assistant, yeah.
No, he said he's the head coach.
No, the head coach was Flores.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I was sure.
Then I got to miss, because I had Tino on the show, and he said he was. So he went to Nicky Rowe as an assistant. Okay, I got you.
Well, that year. Tino was the head coach in, I think, but not 99.
Not 99.
No, 99 was the Ryan Flores and Ronnie Flores, Mr. Coach Flores. That was El Papa. He was the head coach that year.
Okay.
So he got recruited, and so the next step was, well, what can I do? I cannot pass my ACT. What can I do? Well, that's Juan. You need to get, I think, 20 hours as a community college, and then transfer. And that's what I did there in McAllen. I graduated in May or June from La Jolla, and I went summer school.
At SCCC.
SCCC, again, like I said yesterday, I took all the Spanish 1 to Spanish, 4, just to get those hours. And
Spanish.
It's
going to be easy.
Easy. No. So, and then I transferred in December.
I got you. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, that Spanish is hard, man.
Oh, I thought it was going to be easy, but once I started that program, it is hard.
All right, that's why you took it to be easy and to go to college. I had to declare a Spanish minor to get because I had already done all the paperwork, and the advisor says, well, I can't sign this paperwork. She had to sign it in order for me to take my trip for the summer to Spain, right? And I go, what do you mean you can't sign it? I already paid for my flight and everything. She goes, well, it's because you have to have a minor in Spanish. And I told her, so what do I have to do to have a minor in Spanish? She goes, you got to tell me that you want a minor in Spanish. I want a minor in Spanish. Oh, okay. Y le firmó. I'm like, dude, I was so nervous, but it's so hard. It's so hard, man.
It is hard because los acentos and the and this and that.
I failed that class.
It is hard.
So then you go to McMurray.
Yeah.
In December, you started in January?
Yeah.
But you didn't play that year because you were redshirted.
No, I was just in the practice. I was already a redshirt. I was in the practice squad. And I think that was even better because, you get, like Adan said, you need to be a red shirt regardless, because that year you need to be more physical. You need to grow, know the game, the terminology. I didn't know the terminology about basketball. I mean, pick and roll is screen and slide and fake the screen and things like that. I didn't know that.
Juan, it's interesting, and I guess I don't know if Coach Bass didn't know, or Coach Garza didn't know, or our assistants didn't know the terminology you're talking about. I picked up that terminology from watching the UTSA basketball, because the weight room for UTSA back in the day, before they got the rec center, it was on top. I could see the practice while I was working out. So I started scheduling my workouts schedule as a freshman during their practice. So I kind of stopped working out. I just watched the practice, and I learned a lot more in 2 to 3 weeks just watching than 4 years that I was playing. Yeah, but so like I said, maybe the coaches didn't know that kind of terminology.
That terminology is something else. So that spring semester, I learned a lot. Of the terminology.
So you knew that you took that semester to learn the game.
The game, and more. Weights. So I kind of.
I was going to be curious. I wanted to, and see, that's a very big question that I've asked every collegiate athlete. And I was very curious to ask you, because me and you worked out one summer. I remember our second year. But what kind of workouts were you doing in high school?
Nada.
Did you ever go to the weight room? Nothing. No. On your own? It was just play basketball.
No, that was one thing that no weights. I never lifted weights. Not even, the track thing, not even sprints, nothing like that.
So the only weights you got was when we did our circuit training session for 2 weeks?
That's it.
So you never did squats on your own. You never deadlifted on your own. You never did power clean, bench, the comp, nada.
Until I was in college. That's when.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you get to college and you think that in basketball, that was my mentality back then, that you need to lift heavy because you need to be strong. And honestly, basketball players is more repetition. Just put more 20 reps, that. That's what you should do as a basketball player. And then I thought it was more like, hey, put 245s on each side and this. No, for basketball players, it's more lightweight. I'm not saying too light, but more repetition and sets.
Okay, you just made a comment that most people that are watching are going to criticize because there's different philosophies.
Because there's different, but
right. Because go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's because Eric, myself, and Adolfo at the Final Four when it was here in San Antonio 2 years ago. So we went to a Final Four strength and conditioning session specifically for basketball, and you got the Michigan coach there, and oh my God, the technology there. I mean, the LSU coach. And I'm not talking about coaches. They're strength and conditioning coaches. And then Alan Gonzalez, I don't know if you ever remember Alan Gonzalez. He played for Juarez Lincoln for a little bit. He was my player. He's been around. His job at UTSA was strength and conditioning. Different kinds of lifting are for different kinds of results, I guess. Bigger muscles, stronger. It's so much research and so much. But I got you. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But I was not even educated in weights. I was just going to lift. If you lift weights, at least you're going to improve in something.
Right, you are.
So, yeah. So in college, you just play basketball at school and work out.
What kind of schedule? What kind of lifting did the program have for you?
Well, we had some te daban un program,
right.
And for 6 weeks, in the off season, from August to November, October, it was we would work out we had to be there in the gym at 6 a.m. Be there at 6 a.m. for
to lift weeks. Or to practice?
Well, no, lift weights and conditioning.
That's it.
6 weeks, yeah. And, from August to October the 20th, that's when we would start basketball, October 20th.
Right.
And then October 20th, it would be more basketball rate.
Basketball.
But for 6 weeks, it was lifting weights and conditioning.
So that was in the morning,
In
and
the
then
morning.
you had but you still had team practice.
Yeah, but so at from 6 to 7, from 6 to 7:45, 7:45, it was all that hour and 45 minutes, 15 minutes just to go shower, go eat breakfast, and then go to class. If you have class at 8,
Right?
And then from 8 to 1, just do your classes, and then we would have practice from 3 to 5, most of it.
And then when did you do your individual session?
No, it was after or before, depending on your schedule.
Okay, but so there's a weightlifting session, a team practice session, and an individual session,
yes.
Correct?
Yeah, but that would depend on your schedule. It was
right
after, yeah.
Right, but no matter what, those are 3 things guaranteed in the life of a college basketball player. Yeah. So you're talking about 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
Normal
basketball. I mean, just basketball, and that's what I see nowadays. Going back to these kids, I mean, in high school, they just come and practice from from high school. It's from 4 to 5, 4 to 6.
It's a 2 hours. It's a 2 hours. So let's say 5 to 7.
Okay, they just come and practice 5 to 7, and that's it. They don't even. And I've gone to practice this practice here in high school, even in McAllen or La Jolla, and these kids they're from 5 to 7, and that's it. They go home.
Or 4 to 6, whatever.
4 to 6. But I remember when we used to practice, we would stay after practice, or
dude, I hated leaving practice, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. Like nowadays, kids need to practice more so you can get more repetition all the time. That's what's going to take in order to go to the next level.
Right.
So
I will say this though. One thing that generation that we had was everybody knew you had to show up 45 minutes to an hour before school started
to
play. Like everybody woke up early because we're gonna go ball up in the morning for open gym.
Yeah.
And don't lose because you're gonna be basically you can't play again.
Yeah, I even Coach Mendoza was there.
with his Magic Johnson moves, he can't no looks.
Mendoza, Coach Moreno, remember Coach Moreno? Yeah. So I was there 4 years. I mean, my last 2 years were pretty successful basketball wise. I mean,
you have a ring? Did you get a ring?
I am my sophomore, my junior. I got one. Yeah.
Championship.
We actually, my redshirt freshman, that team made it to the Elite 8.
Oh snap!
Yeah, my redshirt freshman. That's been the best team ever. My redshirt freshman year.
Nice. So
and
you were
my sophomore, that team. But I would just play like my sophomore. I would just play like 10 minutes, not that much. But they made it. Well, we made it to the Sweet 16. And then my junior and my senior, we didn't make the conference tournament.
Oh man, that's tough.
But when I came back from McMurray, 2004, we started. At that time, there was a Mexican league here in and actually still. I mean, I don't know. That's the NBA Mexican League in Mexico.
Right.
And that team at that year, 2005, there was a team in Reynosa. And man,
and you played on that team.
Huh?
You played on that team.
It was me.
You and Eric played on that team.
Eric, Lalo Rios from Edinburgh. Coach Yera was the coach.
Yeah.
So, but that's another level.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought we were in the NBA. We were talking about fans, 5,000, 6,000 fans. I mean, they would after the game before.
Really?
The game,
so it was packed.
Oh no, it was packed. I mean, Adan used to go to the games, and they all the fans autographs, and it was like it was nice. It was nice. It was something else. I mean, for that league is
so
like
you were a professional basketball player.
Yeah. I mean, we play against the guy who NBA, ¿cómo se llama? He played with the Phoenix, the Mexican 7-footer, Horacio Llamas.
I don't know.
Horacio Llamas, he played with the Phoenix Suns.
Really?
I mean, yeah, he was there were several because in that league back then you could only have 3 Americans. Those were the best players. So sometimes they would come and like the D League, and then they would get tryouts for the NBA. But it's
right. So basically, so I'm assuming that what the D League is now, that Mexican was filled with a bunch of Americans trying to make the NBA.
The only difference is that there's good. I mean, you get paid good money.
Yeah.
You get per month.
How much?
Well, we were just getting paid because we were teachers and we were getting paid $3,000 a month. But that's because we were just like part time. But
so you were getting paid your teacher salary plus the 3,000. Nice.
Now, some Americans there, or some even like Mexican players there, they were getting paid from $5,000 to $10,000 a month.
Oh wow!
Depending on which, like the Veracruz teams, the Mexicali teams, those were the good team, like the Mark Cuban's team.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So you were playing for packed houses.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, over there, I mean, there were refs, but it's como si no había refs. So you better, you better be prepared.
1980s NBA.
Yeah. I mean, the screens. Something else, but I mean, it was a great experience. It was a great experience over there.
How many years did you play down there?
Two.
How well did you guys do?
Actually, we lost in the conference finals. To go to the finals, we lost against Mexicali. Adán Montalvo couldn't hit the last shot, so we lost because of
Adán or Eric?
Eric, because of Eric Montalvo. So
you didn't make that. No, pues no, que Eric no falla. No dice que no falla. I'm gonna call him right now.
And actually, over there, I mean, I mean, my whole life I was playing the 4 and the 5. In Mexico, I was playing the 4, but I had to move a little bit to the 3. Because
you had taller guys playing with your team?
Huh?
You had taller guys playing with your team?
You're talking about 6'10", 7-footers, 6'11".
Oh snap! So it's like professional. Oh yeah.
It's strong, and so sometimes I was trying, but I mean they were too big for me. So I had to. They would have to move me to the 3 spot. And
nice.
Yeah, because I mean 70% of the time I was playing the 4, but sometimes I had to play the 3. Eric was playing the point guard, full-time point guard.
And Lalo?
And Lalo was Eric and Lalo was playing. We were playing 1 and 2, but Lalo.
I got you.
Yeah, and actually, one of our best players was those Lalo and Eric.
I see.
So
I got you.
Good old days.
It's interesting you mentioned that because when I coach, like when I coach, you're right. When I coach basketball there at the junior high level, is I teach everybody, all of them. The offensive sets that I have for them is they all need to learn how to play guard. All of them. Even the tallest guy is going to be 6'2". Hey, you pop out to the wing, catch, square up, learn how to pivot, fake, dribble, attack the rack, because I played with you and I know your story, where it's like you're 6'5". Most tallest guys in the valley is going to be 6'5", 6'6". How about we just teach them how to play guard?
Yeah.
Right?
Guard. That's when, especially if you're 6'4", 6'5", or 6'6", whatever. But if you're not a guard, or you're 6'6", 6'5", and you're going to play inside, you better be physical. You better be physical, because I was not the tallest one. I was not the strongest one. I was not the most athletic, but I was playing defense. I was playing defense. I mean, in defense, most of the time, it's all about, if you really want to play defense, it's all about heart, But I mean, I was playing defense because, I mean, like I said, there's big guys, faster, stronger, and just play defense.
So how are your knees right now?
They're messed up.
Was that because of the during college or in the pros?
We're not really. One, I had a torn ACL. I think in my towards the end of my freshman year, I had torn ACL, but I messed it up playing here in the Valley, playing in the summer leagues.
Here in Mission and Edinburgh?
In Laredo. We were playing in some tournament in Laredo.
Oh, okay.
And then the second time I messed up my knee was already in 2010. I was already just playing here in the leagues. Right. So, yeah.
The reason I ask is because are you gonna if that alumni tournament that me and Eric are trying to organize, are you gonna be playing or no? Are you coaching?
I'm coaching probably.
It would be good, but man, I don't know if you caught the whole thread a few months back, and everybody going back and forth, the 99, the 2005, the 2000. Yeah. It got pretty interesting, but Adan says that his team is the best. I'm like, whatever, it'd be pretty cool to play that game. I mean, hopefully it gets done just for the fun, just for everybody to come out and check it out. But Muniz Construction is sponsoring at least some uniforms, no?
Probably, yeah.
Mira, aquí está, para que lo veas. There, Adán Montalvo, Juan is sponsoring. So, it'd be pretty cool if they had it. But so we talk about your career in retrospect. What do you think you could have done to have helped you? I mean, you were successful. I can't say you weren't. Maybe what would you have added to your repertoire or your daily grind in high school and in college? More high school more than anything.
I think I mean, if I knew, or if I was more, I'm gonna say more educated in that way, what I know right now, like I think track. I think I wish I could play, try out track in, I don't know, whatever, sprints or something, because I know that would have really, really helped me stand out in basketball.
Okay, now the reason I'm going to ask you this question is I know the background because you told me back in the day when we used to go and hang out. How much work did you do on the track during your stint at McMurray?
No, I didn't do any track.
No, but didn't the coach take you out to run outside for like 2 weeks at a time?
Yeah, for 6 weeks. Yeah.
What kind of training was that?
We were doing sprints, the 100, the 200. We were doing a lot of sprints. And so he would train you like track guys for a little while. He would. I mean, we would. I mean, especially at the 200. The 200, we would. I don't even know how many times, but we had to do it like in a certain time. If not, the whole group. We had like 3 groups. If your group one of your players didn't make it, or one of your team, the whole group again. So I don't know the time, but I know this the 200 was the key, and we would do a lot of the 200s. Sprint.
What was the adjustment like for you, Juan? Because see, the reason I'm asking is because I know that, like, once again, I know the backstory is, what was your adjustment like coming from Coach Eddie Garza's system, set it up, run the 44 offense, slow tempo. Well, you go to McMurray, and now all of a sudden you're running a full court press.
It was pressing the whole game. Trap.
Like, what was that like mentally, adjustment-wise for you?
Well, the reason, because I was a redshirt freshman, that really helped me when I was already a freshman. So that kind of helped me my redshirt freshman year, because I kind of caught up in those 5 months. But again, one of the things that I had to cut up like real quick was the terminology about the basketball wise. That was one of the bigger adjustments, the terminology. So, but
running the press and adjusting to the press, that was just through practice. You got the hang of it?
Practice, yeah. That was more repetition, practice, know where to be in the spot, like Adan said, like the angles. Like if you know the guy, it's faster or quicker than you, well, you need to adjust in the angles, how to prepare, how to stop those faster players.
Right. I'll tell you what though. I still remember the day where the first time I had to guard Kevin Navendaño. That's probably one of the better guards I got to play against, right? And I remember like, oh, Kevin, he's a super freshman. I remember we're sitting at the lunch at the cafeteria, because some super freshmen were sophomores. I think we're in the high school already, because some super freshmen, and it was him, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a tournament in Hidalgo, and I'm like, all right, so me toca a mí, I gotta guard him, right? And he comes up, he does pa, and I was just like this, and he just takes out like, God damn it, this guy's so. I mean, he was, man.
And he was about probably he's 5'11" or 6'1".
Yeah, man.
He was a good player. I remember he was a good player. And that's when you start like, okay, if I kind of back off, or he's gonna shoot. If I play tight, he's gonna drive by. So you start like, okay, and that was a good point about that. You need to know your angles. Like, okay, how do I stop this guy?
I'll tell you what, though, I had more trouble guarding that one guy than guarding the twins from Edinburgh, Roy and Roger. Yeah, no offense, Roy and Roger, but
because I think this guy had a better shot. It's Kevin.
Right.
Kevin, I mean, more
mid-range.
Mid-range shot. So he was more a threat. He would either go in, stop, and pull up. And I think.
Hey, because you have to remember, he made his mid-range jumper, except that they called a timeout in our championship game. Remember that?
Yeah.
He made that shot. So yesterday, when you were having the technical difficulties, I shared with the audience that you're the leader of the team, and one of my favorite moments, and it's, I guess, a message to kids now that they play is relish the moment, especially for us, like the guys that aren't going to play college basketball, aren't going to play for. One of the favorite moments I had was when we were in the tunnel, and then you'd start your little illegales. No, I mean, just I wish, looking back at that tunnel culture we had before we ran out. I'm a kid. I'm an 18-year-old. You're like, I is part of it. But for kids out there, relish the moment, because those moments don't come back. And it was so cool. And I still remember, like, still sometimes I'm cutting the yard, and I remember, like, man, those were some good times. But the story I was telling them last night was, you're the leader of the team at the time, and not, you were off camera, and I shared with them that only one time did I ever get upset at you, seeing that you're the captain, you're the leader, because I was so pissed. I just got to retell it because, you're on the air now, so you can hear it. Is I still remember where we're in the championship game.
No, go ahead.
I still remember where we're playing Nicky Rowe. It's like a minute and a half left in the game. Abel, I think, throws it to me high back to the top of the key to reset. He throws it up high. I get the ball, but in the corner of my eye, I see you. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's wide open. All I got to do is hit his hand, turn around, and dunk. So I catch it, and without coming back, I throw it at you, hits your hand, you miss the ball, which is fine, right? No big deal. What I was pissed about is Coach Garza takes me out. I'm like, why are you taking me out? Of course, he's not going to take you out. I'm like, why are you taking me out? He's the one that missed the goddamn pass. But and I remember that's the only time that I'm walking off the court. I scream, I'm so pissed. I'm telling you off, like, you should have cut the damn ball, whatever. But it's a funny moment in time, because I'm like, why didn't he take Juan out? He should have taken me out, But luckily, we still won the game. Kevin did make that shot, and then they even make the 3-point shot after the buzzer. Man, what a game!
Yeah, it was good game. Good game.
Yeah, good times, good memories. But I don't know if you remember that when I was cussing you out as I was walking off the court.
No,
I was
don't.
Pissed.
No,
pissed.
So,
but we won, which was good.
Yeah.
Juan, anything else? I mean, you have a nice resume. What kind of messages that? And we usually close the show when I have the collegiate guys like yourself and Kenny and Nadan and whoever I've had here that's been a college player. Is there's 3 messages, and we've been at it for a while. The player, the parent, and coaches. What kind of advice would you give them to be successful with all the kind of experiences you had? Let's start with the player.
Well, the player is more like just one of the things is like be coachable. That's one of the main things. Be coachable. 2, it's just play. I mean, you don't have to be playing in a travel team to get better. Just play anywhere. Practice it even at your house. That's the main thing. And always have goals or goals that, okay, I want to do this or have challenges. Challenge yourself, because if you challenge yourself, that you have a goal, and I'm sure you're gonna succeed. But the main thing is practice every day. Don't quit. That's my main thing. Don't quit. And one of the last thing is being mentally tough. Don't be sensitive when coaches scream at you this and that, or don't get all sensitive, because coaches just want for you to get better. they care about you, so they just want for you to get better. So don't be sensitive. Just go out there and give 100% all the time.
Right. It's funny. Let's stay on that topic of players. Is, Sergio Castillo, he's out with the Jets, and he's had his little. He goes on little. He puts it on Instagram. But he came to Chavez Middle School one day. He was here visiting his mom, and he talked to the kids. And it was interesting that he says, "I write my goals down, even though they're the same. I write them down every morning." Yeah. And I think that's important. Keep track. Keep focus on your goals, man.
Have a goal. Have a goal in whatever you do. You can be a mechanic, whatever, landscaping, but just have a goal and just be the best. Because if you're the best, I mean, you're gonna succeed in whatever you do.
Put in the work and you'll get paid for it. What about parents? What kind of advice do you have for parents? Even though we touched a little bit.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, just don't be like again. Just let your kid just enjoy the moment. Let the kid. I mean, if a player is gonna be good, he's gonna be good no matter what. And don't be there just like I'm not saying don't care about your kid. I mean, yes, but if he doesn't play, or don't go and the coach this and coach that, my kid should have played. Hey, just let the kid be the kid and just have for the kid to be get a great experience throughout his 4 years of high school.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, not everybody makes it to college. Might as well just have fun while you're in high school.
Exactly. Just let him be in. And if the kid, if he's gonna go to the next level, I mean, he will.
It's funny you mentioned. We'll get back to that. I want to touch base on the goals and the hard work, but we'll go back to that, or we'll just go about the coaches. What do you got for coaches in the area that you've seen?
Coaches. I mean, like Adam was saying, with the football coaches, basketball coaches, that they're fighting for athletes, and you better come and play football. I mean, I put myself in the coaches' shoes, because I mean, if coaches don't win, what happens?
Oh, they get fired.
So, I mean, maybe if I was a coach, I mean, maybe I would be doing the same thing, because I don't want to get fired. I mean, I want to get the best player. I want to get the best athlete because if I get the best athletes, I'm gonna win. But at the same time, what's the best thing for the student or for the athlete? What's the best? I mean, are we thinking being selfish, or are we thinking as an athlete, what's the best thing for Rudy? So, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, I understand that if I was on the coach's shoes, but I think let's just do whatever it's best for the kid.
Right. See, I'm an advocate of the Adal Montalvo high school schedule, where he had football during football season, and then he would change his schedule to basketball class, and then he would stay in basketball class and he would go back to football class to lift weights, and he would run track after school. I'm Luis Peña. Luis, I've talked to Luis, and he's probably going to be pissed at me like he usually, that he would do football and then he would change it to basketball, but he would never go back to football until 2 days the next year.
And that goes back to the same thing. I mean, we can go circles about why play several sports if you have not mastered one sport. But like, again, we can go circles and
right. Everybody.
Yeah.
Right. The perspective.
Yeah.
So you would tell the coaches, just if the athlete wants to play different sports, let him play different sports.
Let him play different sports, yeah.
At least a freshman and sophomore year.
Exactly, but I mean, if now the athlete knows, I mean, okay, you're going to be great in football, you're going to be great in basketball, I mean,
or golf, like Tony Gonzalez.
Baseball, but who knows that for being great is going to take you to the next level. It just depends what kind of goal that athlete has. Maybe he just wants to play every sport and just to have fun.
Yeah, enjoy the high school career.
Yeah,
that's a good. You know what? That's a good point. Just let them have fun and enjoy their high school career.
Exactly. Maybe they don't want to play college. Maybe they just want to have fun.
It's interesting that you're the first guy I have on this show when we're talking about the multi-sport athlete. That this is the first time we bring up, why not let the kid play all of them and just enjoy his high school career?
And that's what and like if my kid, I mean, I know if my kid is going to be good, he'll be good. If he's not good, hey, that's fine. You're not, Gael, you're not good, but if you want to play all sports, play all sports. I know you're enjoying every sport. I know you're not going to play in the college level, but at least you're having fun playing football, baseball, whatever. But hey, do whatever you want.
But see, when you talk about, when you use the word he's not good, we're talking about the caliber of, he might not be good enough to play at college ball, but he'll be good to compete at the high school level.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. That's what we're talking about when you say he's not good. He's going to be good for high school.
Yeah.
To compete and enjoy his time playing whatever sport he is.
As long as you get a scholarship in academics, I mean, that's what
Juan, you're going to have to pay for the tuition, bro. You and me we're going to have to pay for the tuition. Hopefully they do make it. Hopefully they do get a scholarship. Save us some money.
If they don't get a scholarship, I mean, there's some loans. They're gonna get loans. I tell my kid, my wife, I'm not paying. There's some loans.
I'll tell you what though. When we're building the house, you built the house. You're the contractor. Built my house. When I was building the house and making the floor plan, the rooms are kind of big. Luckily, they're big for this setup that I have for the studio now. But I was telling my wife, I'm like, I don't want the rooms to be big. I want them small. So when they graduate, hey, get out. Get out. I don't want to here anymore. Get out. But I say that now, but of course, as a father, you want your kids around when they get older, stuff like that. But it's cool.
At the end of the day, it's just let the kids have fun and
right.
Whatever they want. Just the main thing is let the kids have fun throughout those 4 years.
Man, that's been one of the greatest points made on this show, man. Let the high school kid have fun.
Basically.
Well, we'll leave it with that, man. That's a great point to close off with. Juan, thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute. Time out. If somebody wants to build a house, you're the guy to talk to.
Hey, Muniz Homes. No construction loan. Hey, rates super low. Just give me a call. We have model homes. Edinburgh, Palmview, Far, San Juan, Alamo, you name it. We have model homes, so you can check it out.
That's what's up.
Any custom homes, 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, whatever you want. We'll customize your.
How many years have you been building homes?
15 years.
There you go. 15 years. Muniz Homes. Go build homes with Juan Muniz. Juan, have a good night, man. Thank you. Thank you. Andale. Later. Ladies and gentlemen, oh man, I don't have my other angle, so I'll finish the show on this angle. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Talk to Juan Muniz. I mean, we know he's class of '99, probably the best team come out of La Jolla High School as a whole, right? Not as a senior group in the alumni tournament, just as a whole, probably the best team, the '99 team. Granted, we lost in the first round of the playoffs. But it's like Juan mentioned, there's some things that he learned. We go back to grades, language, being good in school, academics. So, hopefully they get the message. Students get the message. Parents get the message. Administrators get the message. Different school districts in the area get the message. We got to help these first generation kids out that might get to college. Let's not make the English language a barrier by coddling them. Let's get them put them in English. First grade, second grade, hey, vámonos. It's like Juan said back in 2005. He experienced where he would promote. He would talk to the administrators. Hey, this kid's ready for all English, and they wouldn't move him up. I don't know if that still happens. I cannot comment on that, but he experienced that back in the day. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. You guys have a good night. Peace. Oh, wait. Time out. Hey, let's go here real quick with my logo. The little overlay. I don't have the other overlay, but this show today was brought to you by World Finance. When life throws unexpected expenses your way, World Finance is here to help. Whether it's medical bills, car repairs, or child care expenses, a personal installment or title loan can help you take control and get back to the good things in life. Get started by applying today at their Mission location at 1600 North Conway, Suite A, Mission, Texas. They can take applications by phone at 956-580-4533, or you can visit their website at loansbyworld.com. They are accepting applications with matriculas, passport, or ITIN. You do not need to have a social to apply. All loans are subject to their usual credit underwriting policies. Give them a call. They'll help you out with a loan, get you back on your feet. With that being said, peace, good night.